Yo, what's good, everybody? ZXR Toxic here. Y'all can call me Toxic or Taylor. Taylor's my real name. Um, well, this is my first story time, and this channel is gonna be used a whole lot. I'm gonna try to stay as consistent as I can with a whole bunch of gameplay. And so let's just get right into it, guys. This story is about my one of my craziest times sneaking out. Um, I was in about ninth grade at the time. It had just hit that time. So I was like 14. I'm 18 actually. Um, so that was fuck, bro. That was 4 years ago, dog. Almost 4 or 5 years ago. Um, well, it was four going on to five, I think. Yeah. I think. Okay, it doesn't matter. But let's let's get right into it. So, like I said, this time I was sneaking out. This time I was kind of a good kid, but this is whenever I started getting into my shenanigans and not doing what a normal kid should be doing at this age. I was sneaking out a lot. I started smoking. Please don't do anything you hear about in the story time. It's not good for you at all. And I do not condone anything talk about or do in the story. So if you watch my story times, please don't go out and do them just because you think it's cool. Um, and um, so this night it was in September, August-ish, and my friend Braden had texted me. That's what we're gonna name him for this story. Um, I actually use that name a lot. You might hear that in Daz's story, aka Dizzy Stories. Um, I was actually just in one of his videos and we did a story time on how we got caught with vapes in school. It's a really good thing. It's a really good video. Y'all should go check it out. I'll add him in the description. Um, so some of y'all might be coming from Daz. Um, but again, my friend Braden had texted me and he told me that he found this like Uh, well, he told me he wanted to go just sneak out. That's all he told me to do. And I was living in an apartment at the time. I don't really want to tell y'all how I did it, but then y'all would probably be like, this isn't a real story. This isn't a real story. But it is. So I'm gonna just. No, I'll say it. So I had cameras. I had one in the kitchen facing the front door. And then I also had a Ring doorbell. And I had went inside, or not inside, sorry. I had got the call from Braden. Braden said, "Yo, Taylor, like you trying to sneak out? Like I got some stuff for us planned." I said, "What do you got planned, dog?" He said, "Let's make it a surprise." I said, "All right." Like, but like how crazy is it gonna get? He was like, "I'm not gonna lie to you. It's gonna be crazy, crazy." I was like, "All right, bet." So me and him end up so I tell him I'm like, yo, just tell me when you get to my house and I'll come outside. And little do I know, or fuck, dude. A few minutes later, he okay, so at the time he had a cousin that would drive him places, but his cousin did not drive us to our place. He got dropped off at my house because his cousin was coming somewhere near. And um he had got dropped off at my house a few minutes later, like maybe 10 minutes later, and I got the text. He said, "Yo, I'm here. Come outside." There was a router in the like near where the camera was, but it was also near like where there was like bottles of water and Gatorade. So then I just pretended like I was grabbing a Gatorade and then I turned the router off. So my mom couldn't see me whenever she was like, "Oh, well, let's like." So if she were to go onto the camera, she wouldn't be able to see me sneaking out because the like internet would be off. So then she was like, yo, you or fuck, dude. And then I turned the router off. I slowly opened the door, and then I turned to where like the camera can't really see me, and like I kind of just like move a little bit out because it was angled to a part where like you couldn't see me, like if I went on the left side, and I went on the left side, and I went down the stairs, went down the bottom, and I see Braden, run up to him, I dap him up, and a few minutes later I say, "Yo, like, are you gonna tell me where we're going, or are we gonna keep it a surprise?" And he tells me, "You know what? Let's keep it a surprise." And I say, "Okay. Are we just gonna walk there? Are we gonna like what's going on?" Because I didn't know if he was gonna Uber us. I didn't know what was gonna happen. So I was like, "All right." He ends up saying we're gonna walk. We end up walking. We leave my neighborhood, and then he's like, "Yo, like how you been, dog?" I was like, "Yo, I've been good. Like you like how have you been, dog?" He was like, "Yo, I've been good. If you had to take a guess on what we're doing tonight, what do you think?" I said, "Honestly, Braden, you're so you. I wouldn't have a clue on where we would go." And he said, "You know what, twin? That's fair." I say, "Yeah, it is." So then he tells me, um, or he goes, "Yeah. So I'm just gonna say we're gonna go get food first." I said, "Oh, you can get food. I don't got money." And you know what he says? He says, "If I eat, you eat. Mi casa, your casa." I say, I love you, bro. Dap him up again. We go to a McDonald's, bro. Again, it was, oh, I forgot to tell the time. It was 2 in the morning. So we got there around like 3:30 because again, we were walking and there wasn't a McDonald's like right next to my house, but it was kind of like close, but we also were just walking around for a bit, just like thinking about stuff. Like we were talking for a good like hour. And then we get there to the McDonald's and I got a fucking I think I got like a McChicken or something. And after I get the my food, or okay, well no. You know what? I'm gonna tell this part. So we go in. Braden, okay, I actually remember our orders. Braden gets a fucking like I'm pretty sure like he gets like chicken nuggets and a burger with ketchup and cheese only. Keep that in mind. Ketchup and cheese only. And I got a McChicken and a McFlurry as well. Because he was like, "Yo, I'm getting ice cream. You're getting ice cream." I was like, "Yo, love you, bro. Like you're my dog." He gets me it, and he ends up buying it, and he didn't have enough for me to get fries and him fries, so he just got himself fries, and I was like, "Yeah, it's good, it's good. Like I'm not mad. Like it's all good." And then the worker was like, "I'm so like I'm like I'm really empathetic or sympathetic. One of the two, I don't know the difference, honestly, guys." But then she goes, "I'm gonna give you a free fry." I was like, "Yo, you're so cool." I ended up giving her a hug, honestly, because she was just so nice. Um, so then me and Braden go wait on the outside of like the counter, and we were waiting by like the little tables that they had in the restaurant, and she was like, "Hey, it'll be just a few minutes. Like we'll be out really shortly." I was like, "All right, like, thank you." And then he was like, "Hey, we're just making y'all fresh nuggets and a fresh McChicken, so it'll be a little bit longer. Is that okay?" And me and Brendan were like, "Yeah, of course." It only took him about like this was only about 5 minutes in. Again, a little bit later, me and Braden it takes him 10 more minutes. We say, I'm like, "Yo, Braden, we're like, where the fuck is our food, gang?" He was like, "I don't know." I was like, "Dude, well, this is kind of pissing me off. Like I'm fucking hungry." And he was like, "Yeah, I know, I know, I know." It's like, "Dude, can we just like go if they don't come out in the next like 10 minutes?" He was like, "No, like we need to get our food." And I was like, "Okay, okay, whatever." We end up getting our food. Like I'm pretty sure like we got our food like an hour fucking later because I was like, holy shit. But they ended up giving me like another free McChicken and something, and they gave me like a free like 6 piece, I'm pretty sure. It was a 4 piece or a 6 piece. I'm pretty sure it was a 6 piece. And it was, I was really grateful for that lady and Braden at the same time because really didn't have to. They could have just been like, suck it up. Y'all shouldn't even be out anyways because we looked like we were young. Like it was obvious. Like there really was no like way to tell that we were like above 18 at the time. But we looked 14, and we had took the food, we left with our food. Um and then Braden was like, "All right, now we're leaving." And I was like, "Okay, like where are we going?" Takes us another like about hour. So this is about 4:35 at the time. And then he's like, "Okay." Um and also my mom doesn't get up till like 10 a.m. usually just because she's usually just doing stuff. Like she goes to bed somewhat early, but this night she went to bed pretty late. So I was like, okay, I should be able to be out for a while, till 10 at least. Like I was thinking. And then she goes, yeah, or me and Braden, we end up going, and then we end up pulling up to this person's house. And I was like, yo, like, what are we doing at this person's house? And he was like, you'll see. I'm buying something. I was like, what are you buying? And he's like, well, you smoke still, right? I was like, I do smoke. Like where is this coming from? What's gonna go on? And he ends up saying, well, let's just say I can buy us some stuff. I was like, all right, kind of assumed this is where it was going. And then he ends up getting us, sorry. He gets us 2 J's and he gets us 1B. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to say this on YouTube, but he gets us 2 J's and 1B. Y'all should know what that is. And after we get that, we end up just chilling. We go outside of the house, we smoke it, we have hella fun. We we are beyond fried at this point. That's all I'm gonna say. We were beyond fried. And so little do you know, a few minutes later, he's like, okay, we're almost there. I say a few minutes. It was about like 30, 40 minutes. We get to this other house, and I'm like, all right, like what, like where is this going? What are we doing now? And he just goes, so, okay, I gotta figure out a name for these two people. Let's call them Chelsea and Jasmine. So Brandon's like, "Oh, you know Chelsea and Jasmine, right?" I was like, "Oh yeah, 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 yeah." Like I remember Jasmine and or Chelsea and Jasmine. Sorry, Jasmine and Chelsea just sounds weird. I was like, "All right, well, um, Chelsea and Jasmine," or he goes Chelsea and Jasmine. They were planning on doing a little 2 man tonight on their Snapchat story, and I slid up and I took it. I was like, I see you, and then we end up going to their house, or like we end up going inside, and then Chelsea is my girl, Jasmine is Braden's. Chelsea, I always thought she was bad, but then me and Chelsea see each other, and I was like, "Hey, Chelsea," I give her a hug. She gives me one back. Like, "How have you been?" She was like, "Oh, I've been good." Like, and then all that and that, and we just chilling for a little bit, and we end up going into fuck. I can't remember whose house it was. I think it was Jasmine's, or it was Chelsea's. One of them. It was one of their houses, but they were having a sleepover, and it was around 5 at this time. So I was like, we don't have like a whole much bunch of more time, but like We got a little bit. So I'm like, yo, like, what are we gonna do? And she was like, oh, we can watch a movie. And then she ends up putting on, all right, guys, y'all might little know a little something about me. I'm in love with the Scream movies. She put on Scream 3. Oh, I was so hyped. I was like, oh, and I was also high as fuck. So you already know how happy I was. And she was like, I know you like this movie. Like, I was like, you know me so well. And then she was like, yeah, well, I try. I was like, I appreciate it. And then she gives me or I give her a little hug, and then we post up on her bed. She like lays in, but like, so I was laying down on her bed, like facing the TV. She gets like posted up near me, like her like back on my chest and her legs like lined up in between my legs. Like she was like laying on top of me like that. But like where she could see the movie, I had my arms wrapped around her. And then I don't know if I should say this because of the, yeah, but it got a little further. But Jasmine and Brayden, they weren't in that room. They were in the guest room. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it was the guest room, or it was like the brother or sister's room. I don't know, but they weren't in the same room because like why would y'all be in the same room? Like, come on. And then me and them all end up, or me and Chelsea, we end up just doing our little thing. We do our little thing, and then a little bit after, um, it gets a little bit more hectic. And I was like, okay, okay. And we do our little thing. We both finish, as I should say. And then obviously I have to give her aftercare because like why wouldn't I? Come on, like that's like I'm with her, so or I'm not with her, but like I'm not gonna just be that kind of person. Like if I'm helping you, like like I'm gonna like help you be okay afterwards. You know what I mean? And then she goes, "Oh, like you're so sweet, like maybe." And she was also high, I'm pretty sure, or drunk, one of the two. I think she was drunk. I'm not a big drinker, but I do definitely have some stories. And she tells me like, "Well, like I think we should like take this further." I was like, "Ooh, what you mean further?" She was like, "Maybe I don't want to make this just be a two-man thing." I was like, "What you mean by that?" She was like, ooh, like maybe I want to be like deeper. I was like, what do you mean? Like, are you trying to be my girlfriend type shit? Like, is that what you're trying to say? And she was like, yeah, maybe like after tonight we'll see. I was like, ooh, girl, I got you. And then a little bit goes by, we keep cuddling. Loki, we make out a few times. Movie keeps playing, movie ends. We put on another movie. I can't remember the movie, but it was like some Disney movie, I'm pretty sure, but it was like a cartoon one, like Nightmare Before Christmas, but it wasn't that. I would remember because like that's also one of my favorite movies ever. And she ended up going like, well, like after this movie, I'm assuming you have to go. It'll be like 6. I'm already know if people call and it's gonna be go ahead. It was around like 6 or 7 at the time, and she she was like, it's like 6 or 7, like now, like you gotta go home. I was like, "Oh, okay, okay." And then me and Brayden end up going home. Aren't like that high anymore, but we have the little like brain fog for real. And then a little bit after me and Brayden leave, I get a call from my mom. I'm like, so I started telling her, I'm like, yo, my mom's fucking calling me. I'm freaking the fuck out. Like I don't know what to do. Like I am fucked. And she ends up she's like she leaves a voicemail saying in these words cuz I remember them so deeply. Where the fuck are you? Get the fuck home right now. Your phone service is going to get cut the fuck off. I say, I call her back because I'm like, okay, like let me just, I'm not gonna get in more trouble. I'm not gonna lie. I'm really big on like not lying. So I tell my mom, I'm like, hey, I'm with Brayden right now. She's like, where the fuck are you? I say, hey, we're just passing, not gonna say the street, but I say, hey, we're just passing the street. Like, I'll be home in maybe 30 minutes. She was like, she was like, you better be home in the next 45 minutes, or I swear to God, Taylor. I tell her, all right, like, all right, bro, I get it. So we end up going, me and Braden end up going home really quick. But then Braden gets a call from an unknown number. And I'm like, yo, like, are we gonna answer it? He's like, I don't know. Like, should I? I was like, let them leave a voicemail if they need it. It wasn't like a star. It wasn't like a star 67 number. It was like a. It wasn't a no caller ID. It was just a random number he didn't know. And he was like, well, obviously I don't know the number, so I'm not gonna answer. I was like, yeah, like that's okay, twin. Like I understand that. And he says, well, all I'm gonna say is, um, or he didn't say anything. My fault. My fault. But then he's like starts like tweaking out because he gets another call. I'm like, and it's about the same number, so I'm like, fuck, just answer it. He answers it, and it's some guy. He says, "Yo, hello, is this fucking Braden?" He says, "Yo, who the fuck is this?" Because like he thought he was finna get pressed, so obviously he's gonna press back. Like, you feel me? And he says, he's like, "Yo, like who the fuck is this? Like, why are you talking to me like that?" They're like, "This is this is Jasmine's boyfriend. Like, you thought it was okay to go to my girl's house today?" Yeah, okay, okay, so it was Jasmine. Okay. Now I remember him. And he was like, "Oh shit, she has a boyfriend?" And he was like, "Yeah, she does. Like, I want to beat the fuck out of you now." Braden's like, "Bro, okay then. Like, I'm not even gonna be a pussy. Let's run it." A little bit later, um, Braden sees this like black like sedan. It was like a black Honda Civic, I'm pretty sure. I'm not really good at, no, not Honda Civic, like a Toyota Corolla. Or a Toyota, fuck, not a Toyota Corolla, like a Toyota Camry. I remember, yeah, it was a Toyota Camry, a black Toyota Camry. Sort of, we saw them like just pull up by us. We were like walking on the like side of the road, like on the um fucking like concrete on the sidewalk, and then they stopped by us, and he says, "Yo, you Braden, right?" And then he's like, "Oh, you're shit. I'm gonna give this guy a name too. We're gonna name him Jordan." He was like, "Oh, you Jordan, right?" And he was like, "Yeah." So then Jordan gets out of the car. Jordan walks up to Braden, and he said, like, starts pushing on him. He was like, "Yo, so you thought it was okay to go to my girl's house and fuck her?" I was like, "Oh, okay." So Braden really did get that dirty. Like, all right, I see you, Braden. But then I just give him a smile, and Braden smiles back. Braden has, and I swear, has no fucking like handle. He grabs his hand, swings it back, and smacks the fuck out of fucking Jordan, dude. Jordan's like, all right, bet, got you. So Jordan, he was the one in the passenger though. He wasn't driving. We still don't know who was driving. But then Jordan grabs Braden by like his fucking like his shirt, but like doesn't like pick him up, like not in like a movie type shit, but he like grabs his shirt and just like tries to pick him up, but like just like lifts him a little bit and like throws him onto the concrete. And I was standing behind. So I'm like, yo, I'm not finna just see my homeboy like get his ass whooped, right? So I walk up to him. I'm like, yo, like, who the fuck are you? Like, what are you trying to do? So then I pull him away. Like, he wasn't a big guy. He was like, so I was like 6 foot. Like, no, I was like 5'11", going on to 6 foot maybe in my freshman year. So I was like, all right, like, whatever, dude. He was like about like 5'9". I was always pretty skinny. I maybe weighed like 120 and he weighed about 140. So we were around the same weight. No, whoa. I just realized that's not really the same weight, but like he was pretty skinny too. So like it was like around the same area. I'm like, all right, like let's go. And I could fight, and so can Braden, but Braden kind of just got thrown on the ground. So Braden gets up. I grab him like off of Braden. He's like, "Yo, what the fuck are you doing?" He like turns around. He tries to swing at me. I move back a little bit. Like it like grazes my chest. So then I'm like, "All right, bet." So I just protect my face. I put my hand in front of my face and I just swing full force with my fist, closed fist, make him fall. And he's just like, "Yo, like who the fuck do you think you are? Like, like what do you think you're doing?" And this was about 45 minutes. My mom has my location, so then she calls me again. She said, "Told you to be home." I said, "Yo, something happened. Like, can you come pick me and Braden up? Like, I'm so sorry." She said, "Where the fuck are you?" We go to this like Kroger. My mom picks me and Braden up at this Kroger that was like right next to us because like me and Braden bolted after I put the guy on the ground. Like he didn't like get knocked out or anything. I'm not gonna say I'm all that, but like I punched him in the face and he gets like and he just like he kind of just like probably got like shocked by him. I was like, "Oh, what the fuck?" And got and he fell over and he was like, "Oh fuck!" Like, damn, I didn't think he was gonna punch me type shit. But then um he ended up like just staying there. We didn't see him ever again. I still haven't seen him to this day. But then Jordan ends up staying where he was. Me and my friend Braden get picked up by my mom. My mom just is freaking the fuck out in the car. She was like, "What the fuck were y'all thinking? Like, what are y'all doing? Why the fuck do y'all smell like?" I'm just gonna say it. "Why do y'all smell like fucking weed? Like, what did y'all do?" I said, "I'm not gonna lie to you, mom. Like, we smoked." And Braden was like, "Yo." I was like, don't do any of that." Like, I was like, "Yo, don't lie. We smoked. All this happened." And he was like, "Yo, like, okay." And then she was like, "I'm glad you didn't lie to me, but just so you know, you are fucked when you get home." I said, I know." So, like I said it would be 10. It was like 8 at this point, but she woke up at like 6:30, 7:30, like one of the two. And she probably got up to like make sure I was up because I think I had something the next day actually. But then we ended up canceling, obviously. And then my mom ended up, well, my punishment wasn't terrible actually because I didn't lie. That's always my mom's biggest thing. She's not really mad when I do things. Well, she's obviously furious, but she would also rather me not lie to her. So I was like, "Yeah, like I shouldn't have done that, and I understand it." And she was like, "Well, I'm just glad you didn't lie to me. Like, I'm proud of you." And I was only grounded for about a month. My groundation was she didn't turn my phone line off. She took my phone. Um, I couldn't play my games. Oh, that was hell. But I knew I did it, and I did it to myself, so I couldn't really be mad. But that was all that really happened to me. Nothing else happened. Me and my mom didn't ever like my mom didn't hold a grudge on me because I told her the truth. So, yeah. Well, that was the end of the story, guys. Thank y'all so much for watching. And again, I'm gonna leave Dizzy stories in the description down below. Um, please like, subscribe, and follow for the next one. Peace.